And welcome back. Bruce Porter joins us now for this week's Dollars and Cents segment, sponsored by the Resource Center. Good to see you again.
Good to be here.
Happy New Year.
We're beard buddies.
Yes, yes.
Hey.
Good.
Looks very dashing.
Very
As
dashing.
do you.
Both
Thank
look
you
very
much.
dapper
All right,
indeed.
we're going to take a look at today's topic. I'm 61 years old with $1 million in my 401k. Can I afford to retire?
Is that a yes or no?
Did you send me this question?
A little while back, if I did, yeah, but
All the
thanks.
401k millionaires.
Well, you
Yeah.
know, I mean, that's an interesting question that popped up this week. It really depends on several things. It depends on how much you're going to spend, right?
Well, yeah.
So the amount, and I've talked about this on previous shows, what's more important, balance or income? So leveraging income can become kind of an important thing regardless of the balance.
Right.
Being able to leverage a percentage of income out that is sustainable for whatever your mortality may be. Now, you know, the questions that I think we need to ask are how much debt do you have?
Sure.
You know, that's going to be important. When you retire, I would think you'd want to have little to no debt. So in these years,
It's not going to magically disappear. It
that's
stays
right.
with you.
In the years leading up to retirement, I think you prepare to retire by managing your obligations. Now, income wants versus income needs. So when you're retired, you may have a lot of wants. I want to travel, I want to do things, but you may not have the income to do that. So when you throw in the needs of income or utilities and insurances and groceries and keeping up with inflation, you know, all that. So, you know, wants versus needs become very important when you're on a fixed income. Investment experience is important. You know, all of a sudden, you've been a hard worker your whole life. Now, just don't think all of a sudden you're going to become an investment expert. I think I have to caution people about that because they hear the stories of people making money in the markets or day trading or this or I bought this deal or whatever. I think you got to be careful because if you lose money, which there's possibilities of loss in those scenarios, you don't have the ability to earn it back because you're retired and you're not you're not piling up and earning it. So I think that becomes in question, very important. How's your health? I think I would want to know that. You know, what's your expectation? Are you faced with medical expenses? If you're retiring early, like this young man at 61, what are you going to do for health insurance between now and
Medicare.
65? That's at age 65. So health insurance can creep up. I did an analysis for a lady that was going to take her Social Security early. Her insurance premiums were 3/4 of what her Social Security check would have been.
Wow.
So when you're considering, you know, hey, I want to retire early, we all do, but can we afford to do it because of health insurance is a big deal. Now, plans when you're retired, you know, maybe you want to travel around, maybe you want to see some kids, maybe you have family obligations. Those nesters that have returned back to the nest, or the kids that have come back to the nest because of circumstance. I think we have to be mindful of that. That's a more common occurrence than you think. A lot of kids are being kind of forced as adults with their own family to go back to mom and dad.
Are you a
That's
believer in that
true.
4% rule?
Well, on income, yeah. You know, a kind of a common practice in determining income based on balance is the financial planners use a 4% rule of thumb. So on $1 million, that's $40,000 a year. So the whole idea behind that is hopefully your growth rate will match that and you'll be able to sustain, because usually early in retirement, you're not going to have as many obligation needs as you are later in retirement. When your health changes, when you're aging,
Right.
then your obligation needs for care, things like that go up. So instead of leveraging 4 at 80, 85, you may have to leverage 6, 7, 8. And so the idea is you protect early and you put stress later in life so that you won't run out of money. It's the number one concern people have is outliving their money. So in the last couple of weeks, we've talked about the retirement unknowns, the investment risk, inflation, healthcare costs, longevity, and that public policy risk. You know, Social Security, I think we all agree, is going to be adjusted. I don't think it'll go away in our lifetime. That's my opinion. But I think, you know, a few years ago, you could retire at 65. Now, probably you and I are at 67.
67 and then 70 full retirement, I guess.
And then, you know, before long, they're going to be adjusting possibly widow's benefits, early retirement from 62 to 65, full retirement from 67 now out to 70. There could be things like that. Go to the QR code, come and see us, and we can dive into your situation.
There it is right there. If you have
Thanks,
a financial
Bruce.
question for Bruce, visit his website, resourcecenterinc.com, or give him a call, 882-1800. Thank you so much.
See you
We'll
next
be
week.
right back.